George is the bringer of horrific news in the play, and it's quite a small part, but his presence is talked about kind of throughout the play before he arrives.
George Bernard Shaw as an elephant.
Hey George, you just kissed it out of my head and your brother's on the phone.
My brother?
Yeah, George, long distance.
The news that he brings and dramatically what he brings to the play is so sort of earth-shattering. It's kind of it's a wonderful part for an actor. He's tragic. He has information which none of the other characters have in the play. He delivers news.
I think with Anne, I was attracted to, her journey through the play. Maybe not quite realising what journey she's going to go through and how she will achieve that. They've really had to pull together, and that's been their strength, is each other. I've always thought they had a close relationship, but we've had real fun in kind of finding that playful side.
We had that brother-sister dynamic in that I am horrifically cruel to you when I first come in Act 2. But cruel in the way that you can be to a family member.
Someone you love so much.
Someone you love so much that you can be absolutely brutal with them.
But he'll say anything, George! You know how quick he can lie.
Miller writes the most phenomenal text. There's no fat on it. The words are brilliant and amazing, and they're a gift to an actor. And so for me, the process in this play has been like, it's been like putting on some clothes and just kind of wiggling into them and finding which way they feel right to wear.
Also, one thing I always found very useful, especially with this play in particular, is what characters say about you. They're always describing people who aren't there. What characters say about you, what you say about the characters, what you say about yourself, what you don't say about yourself, what you think. So just even a list of how people describe Annie before she's even come in. The piece reflects the play for me is a song called Dog Days Are Over by Florence and the Machine. And it's a very modern piece, which also, it actually sort of came as a surprise to me. I was listening to it completely not thinking about the play, but then the lyrics really suddenly jumped out, and happiness is like a bullet in the head, because there's this mixed, and it's a joyful song, but there's a real haunting side to it as well. And I think Anne comes with this euphoria, but she is the messenger. She brings this letter as well. So there's always, she wants to be happy. This is what she wants, but there's always that haunting. She is the messenger. She's got this letter which could blow everything out of the water. I
went for something which had lyrics in it, which spoke to me about the journey of the character, which communicated the experience of my character and his anxieties, his dilemmas and stuff. So I chose Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. George keeps saying to people in this scene he's in, you haven't changed. Everything is incredibly the same. You haven't changed. He said it 2 or 3 times. He says it to Kate, he says it to Joe. This whole place is the same. And he's so struck by the comfort of how this place hasn't changed.
You're the people who bought our house, aren't you?
That's right. Come over and see what we did with it before you leave.
I liked it the way it was.
The reality of the Keller's house is overwhelming, and what it is today is so much like what it was 5 years ago, unless you start digging and poking under the surface, which is what George does.
Joe has that, whatever's happened, he's got that great cover facade of happiness, and I think Anne, especially at the beginning, is really yearning for that. In terms of her relationship with Chris, there's nothing like that connection through loss.
Because you have a right to whatever you have. Understand that? To me too. And the money. There's nothing wrong in your money.
When you're left, when someone's taken out of your life, and he's had that experience as well, there's great comfort, and they find each other to communicate with.
A man should be paid for that.
Oh, Annie, I'm going to make a fortune for you.
A well-placed note by a director that asks you to do something physical that's quite different from what you've been doing can completely release the emotional truth of a scene in a way that perhaps you hadn't got to it before.
I think Walter's been very useful in saying, these are big pictures. Create pictures for yourself, then we'll believe them. If you can see a picture, then we can believe that.
He doesn't waste any words, Miller. Every single line, every word he's got is there for a complete
even
reason.
Interruptions, even lines which are interrupted, even if they're 2 words, even if they're 1 word, even if it's And also, Walter's been great about the pausing. You know, he's written those for a reason. There's hardly any. There's, you know, he's
Right,
really
yeah.
very specific about this, and it's true. What's written there is.
Well, there's a rhythm. It has a very definite rhythm. You know, again, I talk about Shakespeare because they both have an amazing ability to use. Well, he uses verse and prose, but you know, to use words.